Hi, we're here at IE Gallery in Edison, Washington, so we can treat you to a walkthrough exhibit of the current Guy Anderson show. This is a quick overview of the gallery. Initially, we started with selections of drawings, life drawings, animals drawn from life, wood blocks, and we couldn't resist one large painting, more life drawings. Let's start with the Clayton James drawings, which is the largest and first drawing we have. This is charcoal on paper. This is just the kind of craft paper you can get at a hardware store, which is where Guy Anderson got a lot of his supplies. But this is not the building paper he uses for his paintings. All this work is a selection from the estate of Guy Anderson, which Deryl Walls inherited on Guy's death 25 years ago. And I was invited to come and look through the estate and make a selection of pieces for an exhibit. This was a huge treat for me. It took many visits, many hours, and time spent with Deryl Walls, which was a really nice experience as well. On looking through the work, I decided to focus on life drawings, mostly because Guy Anderson spent so much time drawing from the figure. He often hired models from the area. So I focused on drawings, life drawings, and wood blocks. I wanted to show some of the intimate work. I wanted people to see his influence from the Salish coastal tribes. This is a Haida print, wood block. And pretty much the skills that are acquired over time, kind of a lifetime, decades and decades of drawing from the figure. Some of these were taken from sketchbooks. Again, we have a charcoal on paper. This was a ballet dancer reading. Guy has a lot of pictures of people reading, as I guess that's a great way to have your artists, or rather your models, sit quietly for you. And books and literature were a big part of his life. This is a summer house of hay, and that's graphite on paper. Let's move to his wood blocks, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few good images. Be patient with the camera. I will try to avoid reflection. This is the labyrinth wood block. We'll see that again further on, and again we have another version of the Haida wood block. These were not numbered. They're very much like monoprints in that way. This is an example of the kind of Christmas card that Guy might send out. If you were a fortunate friend, you would receive one of those. This is called Double Lioness. And it's on newsprint. Beautiful. Part of Deryl Walls, most of Deryl Walls, what he's been doing with this enormous body of work that's been bequeathed to him is preserving it, cataloging it, and photographing it. It's an enormous undertaking. This one is called Interlocking Series. I'm going to move a little more quickly because the reflection is not that helpful. Again, one of my favorites, the Interlocking Series. Beautiful tones, more than one overlay of ink or oil, whatever he was using. And this again is a beauty. This is on newsprint. If I move a little bit, I can get no reflection. And this is untitled. And here you can see the ads. There's a signature there. In here you can see it was ads from the Seattle Times for neighborhood, maybe rentals or house sales. Another untitled, but this is the labyrinth, it looks like again, from the first one that we saw. From the woodblocks, let's go on to the sketches of animals. Guy left stacks of sketchbooks behind that Deryl preserved, went through, made selections, framed. These are 3 cows, Jersey. Again, these are not signed right here, but they are part of the estate, so they do have an estate certification. Guy Anderson used to also go to the Woodland Park Zoo down in Seattle and draw the animals from life. Here's a lion. Actually a lioness, he refers to it. Beautiful lines. It almost looks like the Japanese like, and it's, feeling of spareness of line, but a sense of the piece, a sense of the movement or the stance of the animal. A leopard. And then another cow. From those drawings, we're going to move forward into more life drawings. These are larger ones. I'm going to have trouble with the reflection, so be patient with me. You'll have to just come see in person how beautifully this is drawn with the white chalk for highlight. Again, a man reading the paper. A gorgeous life drawing with wash. This appears to be Ed Kamuta, who was a longtime dear friend and model for Guy Anderson. as well as this one. This is 1979. Here we go. And I think it was around this time or earlier, mid-70s to late 70s, that Ed Kamuta introduced Deryl Walls to Guy Anderson. And after that, Guy and Deryl became lifetime friends as well. This one is of Deryl as a young man. Now we'll move into the one painting. After looking at all these life drawings, you see how comfortable Anderson was with the figure in composition with his larger kind of universal motifs that he could draw quickly with a brush on the floor on these enormous sheets of construction paper that he would get at the hardware store. And this particular kind of construction paper is brown paper with tar and chicken wire between the sheets. Very durable. This is called Sleeping by the River. One thing I really love about this is just seeing it as the Skagit River, and I can almost see farmlands and mountains in the background. The face is painted blue, which is a kind of an influence of Buddhism, and Shiva was blue in mythology. Here, if we get up close, you can see where the media has been wet enough that you could see the imprint of the chicken wire. Not the imprint, but I guess you can see the shape of the chicken wire back there. And a wonderful thing to always look for on these paintings is the footprints of the artist. They were hard to paint and reach across, and often you'll see Guy left his own footprint there. A friend of mine used to frame his work in the 80s and 90s, and she said she always found footprints, cat hairs, coffee spills, and there's Guy's signature, 1982. So this is an enormous treat for us to have this exhibit. Thank you to Deryl Walls, and he will be here this Saturday to talk about the life and legacy of Guy Anderson. We hope you get in to see the work in person. It's the best way to see it. Thank you.